Good morning. Hey, welcome to No Doctor, Just Healthy. I am running a little late, but I'm really excited about this. Um, Make America healthy again. And that's really something. I hope you guys are seeing this on when you're looking around on YouTube or anywhere, on media at all. I hope you're hearing about it. It's about everything that we've been talking about the last bunch of years about all these different diets. How everybody's got an idea about this is the best diet or this is the best diet or you can't get the answers from your doctor or or something like that. And my gosh, there is so much going on. But Make America Healthy Again is a program through the government, which is going to actually be on our side. This is, we've got, I'm not going to go through the names because I'm so bad at remembering names, but we've got somebody that's working on efficiency at the highest level. We've got somebody that's at the highest level concerned about our health. We've got people that are uh, willing to tell big pharmacy no, or let's do it different. But I just hope you've heard of that Make America Healthy Again, because that's a real deal. And what's happening is the idea that we're sicker than we used to be. And here, like, I'm a little bit puffed up today, but I tell you what, I've lost some of the weight that I've regained because I started cheating on my diet. So by gaining weight after I cheated on my diet, I realized that my diet was really working because I went from 270 down to 185 pounds. It took 2 years, I think, but it was constantly going down. And right in there, between 185 and 200, I was the healthiest, um, the best feeling I've been in years. And right now, I'm 220, and I'm going to be 200 in no time. I'll be two. I won't do it before next year. I could actually if I'm really, really um, careful, but I don't want to shock myself. You know, I'm 77 now, so I'm starting to I'm you know I'm starting to be real cautious about doing odd things to me. But losing weight is not odd. But today I'm bloated more than this isn't fat. This is bloat, and there's something going on with my innards, and it's okay. It's I often have constipation, you know. But you know what? When yeah, let me adjust this zoom on here just a little bit. Well, I guess I just have to bring it closer because I just have to bring it closer because I'm not sure how to do it. It won't do it right now. But anyways, um, this is what I'm talking about this Make America Healthy. This is targeted at us, people, humans that need to be healthier. For instance, we get heart disease is the biggest disease that we have right now, killing more people every day than anything else. And now, isn't that strange? We've got so many pharmaceutical things that are supposed to help all these different areas of our body, and make our muscles strong. And it goes on and on and on. And then we've got all these fancy equipment. If you've been to the hospital lately, most people seem to have been. We have all these fancy equipment that can look inside of us and measure things, and say what our chances are of not making it through to next week, but um, they're wrong. You know, because high cholesterol numbers, eat this statin. Um, High cholesterol numbers seem to be under fire, and I agree 100%. Because I was diagnosed. I'll tell you my own personal story. I guess I do that all the time, but I tell you but 7 years ago, and 7 years ago, I was really puny. I really felt awful. Not puny in size. I was 270 pounds, and I was falling down. I'd fall down stairways. I'd try to get across the street because because the car was coming, and if I walked too fast, I'd almost have to sit down on the other curb and breathe. I mean, I fell down in the street because of the curve of the street. I'd walk up it and I would get out of step and I would start stumble and I'd fall down. I mean, I was sick. And okay, so doctor says, "Oh, you've made it over the line. You have diabetes type 2." And I said, "That's scary to me because I worked in the VA hospital and I was dealing with type 2 diabetes all the time, taking people to get their toes cut off and people going into constant wound healing problems and wound healing, not uh, like bed sores and stuff is a wound, or a cut on your foot. That's a wound. I'm not talking about people getting shot. I'm talking about this is normal daily stuff. And my golly, um, the the kidney department always had a line of people. A lot of them were the people that I was moving around in wheelchairs, and we'd have a couple sitting out there and through the day. There's usually a little bit of a wait, and everybody was getting their their blood flushed because their kidneys wasn't doing it anymore, and it's often not. I guess I can't say that it's often type 2, but they all had type 2 diabetes, and people out there are saying, um, we need to take metformin. Here's your prescription. No, no. After I was told I had it, if your doctor, talks you into it, that's one thing. But we're going to talk about doctors, um, what to do when they tell you something that you don't like. But anyways, um, my answer is no. It's a complete sentence. But anyways, my doctor told me I had type 2 diabetes, and that I got to thank her for that because I did have it, and uh, I was having the neuropathy things. My fingers weren't feeling right, and I was dropping stuff, and my feet were felt weird, and tingly, and so the neuropathy was setting in from the diabetes, from the high blood sugar, and after she told me that, I immediately, like that, when I left the office, I didn't leave with a list of things I should eat or shouldn't eat. Didn't leave with that. I didn't leave with a prescription because I wouldn't take it because I had been exposed to blood sugar trouble 10 years earlier, or maybe longer, back when Atkins was popular. Remember, you guys probably have heard of that, but if you haven't, Atkins diet is, I always call it, it was the father of all these uh, diets. Every diet is modified half, and I think half the time they modify a diet just so they can get the audience on that topic. I mean, it's just like, okay. Anyways, so after she told me I had the diabetes, I just went to work. And I went home and I did the same thing I did back in 1990 with Dr. Atkins. I think it was 1990. I had migraine headaches that were just awful. That was why I ended up in Michigan, was because I couldn't support my South Florida business because I was off work like every other day or something because my migraines were just out of control. And they were really devastating. And I remember one day this girl came over and sat down with me at my apartment, and I just mentioned I can't have any company, can't nothing, I can't nothing can move, or I don't want to hear anything. She sat there with with her hand on my shoulder while I laid on the couch for hours. She didn't move. Isn't that a blessed soul? That's making me cry almost right now. But anyways, right around that time, I had to move out of Florida because I couldn't continue to my run my business, and I moved up to Michigan where I lived with my kids. And after my son heard me groaning too many times, he said, "Why don't you do something different? Why don't you do something drastic? Change something in your life to make to make you feel better." I'm kind of proud of him for sounding like me a little bit, but he said, and that day I realized that everybody was talking about the Atkins diet all the time. I didn't know what it was. So I went to the library and I read Sugar's Killing You or something like that, the book. And I sat there and I just read it. And that day, I quit eating like I used to. Like I was the guy that would have uh, a grilled cinnamon roll while I was waiting for my strawberry waffle to be delivered at the restaurant. Awful. It was awful. I was just cramming with sugar. But anyways, I went on the Atkins diet that day. I mean, I didn't wean off with sugar or anything. I didn't do any of that. I just did it. So I know it's possible. So I went and started the. This something I remember. No sugar is a treat. No sugar is a treat. And that's definitely. So, anyways, my symptoms went away immediately. I mean, that it was all that week. From that week on, for 9 months, I was on the diet. I stayed on the diet for 9 months, and I lost. I wasn't this big back then. But I lost 40 pounds, and maybe I was close to this size back then. But I lost 40 pounds, and my character drew a really nice woman out of the background. She started liking me, and I used to have more hair, and she used to think I was a pirate. She used to think I was great that I was a pirate. And anyway, we had a time, for a little while, and she knew me before, but my life pulled together so fast that she wanted to know me. And anyways, funny enough, she's the reason I quit the diet. 9 months later, we had a falling out, and it triggered all my. I got PTSD, and I got abandonment, and and all that fits in there, and uh, it, I can get really freaked out. Well, I got really freaked out, and I ate everything that I missed in those last 9 months to get back at her. So I ate to hurt her, and she didn't even know it. And I got refatted, I call it. I got refatted. And That's when I went up to 270. But I was up there for a long time, enough to where the sugar was tearing me down. Well, anyways, um, I started saying, people would say, "Well, here, you deserve a treat once in a while," and I said, I do this every day. Every day I have a treat by not having any sugar. And when that doctor called me back to her office, she, she wanted to see what condition I was in after she told me, and I argued with her about taking medicine, which I didn't do. I didn't take any. I went in there and she did a blood test, and maybe I had to go back twice, but uh, she's looking at my report. And I remember she was looking at my report and she went like this. She looked at me and she said, I know she was checking to see that it was me, that she had the right person. And she looked at me and she says, Don, or Mr. Barry, I think she might have said Don, but she said, you had type 2 diabetes last time you were here. Now you don't. Your blood sugar is perfect. What did you do? She said. What did you do? That almost upset me because she's the doctor, right? Well, that all leads up to this. We want doctors to know that you don't have to eat medicine to get rid of diabetes. You can eat no sugar or less sugar, or you can control it, you can get it way down. And it's not only the sugar that's the problem, but the sugar that's the problem is all part of insulin resistance, and that all starts adding up to where we like weight, carrying all the weight in your gut really says you got it. That's really bad. But anyways, you got to work on it, and I'm going to talk about it, especially if you leave comments in the comment section. If you leave something in there like something you're curious about, you have a curious thought about something, please say something. Um, you know, I I got time to read the comments these days. We'll see. Maybe after this gets started with the government, maybe people will start saying, Don's been talking about that for a long time. Well, there's a lot of us that are talking about all the stuff that's going to be covered in the government. You'll see it all. You see all the keto doctors on the internet. Some of them are great, and some of them aren't. I think most of them are great. See the carnivore doctors, they're great. And I usually don't name drop, but I'll just say this young woman's name initials are MP, and she's magnificent. Her first video can get a person started on a way of life that can continue to create health. And instead of getting the answers from the doctors, like I used to get, the one that really upsets me, well, you're getting older. Of course, you got joints that hurt. Um, that really upsets me because you know what it is. It can be that you're just um, uh, something's depleted. Like you just don't have enough type 2 collagen floating around in your system. Well, that's the time to supplement. you know. But there's other things. There's certain kinds of acid that add moisture to your joints and start building up the cartilage. By the way, my back used to be so loose that if I tried to run or something, I would bounce up and down, and you could feel my spine going bang, 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 bang. My spine is good now, and it's because for the last 5 years or so, I have been feeding my joints and my bones, and my bone density is above average. The doctor told me, "Darn, your bone density has improved so much since your last visit. That doesn't happen in a guy your age." I go, "Well, you got to do the right thing." So doctors, this is going to teach doctors that that can happen. So you're not going to have to go to the doctor and be sick. Uh, the I'm done. Thanks for being there. It's another really long video. I hope these go through okay.